bullshit while we are recording, as we're one to do. Oh shit.
Oh, you bumped the mic.
Bump the mic as soon as I start recording. Start it over.
Last time on Put It On The List.
Record. I hope you're happy.
I also
Yes,
hit
I
record.
am. Considering last time you went like a full 30 seconds before you started recording, I'm happy that you finally did that. So thank you for that, Bridget.
Last time on Put It On The List. We can't watch this movie. It's too bad. I swear, we have to. My God, everyone who watched this movie is dead.
What's happening?
One man. I'm sorry, that's all I had.
Bree had a bit in her mind, and she was like, "Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna go it. Fuck, building up to
Should I do
doing
discipline
jokes.
Reading now? Anyway.
No.
See, Bree, this is why you go in with a plan on stuff and don't
We didn't
just
have a
immediately
plan.
go into bits.
I'm making a bit. I'm coming up with funny yada yadas.
But the thing is, when you just do a bit, you encourage her to do the discipline reading live on the podcast.
What?
And we're not going to explain what that is here because you're not going to do it. We're not going to allow you to do it.
Listeners, are you a bad listener? Oh, who's a bad
Until you
listener?
sit us down and force us to watch Bible Black and or Discipline, we're
Those
not
aren't
doing
movies.
that bit. What was that?
Those aren't movies.
I guess that's a fair point. Those
But
are
we will
OVAs,
continue to
more
lack
so.
discipline.
We could.
For
Hey,
now.
look, we make the rules here. If you were if you had your pick and you were just like, I'm making us watch Bible Black, it's just like,
They told me teamwork would be difficult.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not gonna
fair.
make it-
Considering that literally any one of us could force the group to watch a 4-hour movie like Seven Samurai or something like that,
This is fair.
an OVA series wouldn't be too far out of the question.
I guess not.
yeah, what's the functional difference between a movie
Yeah.
and an OVA or whatever?
Well, they are normally much longer than a movie.
Uh-huh.
It depends. If it's a proper OVA series, yes.
Yeah.
If it's just a one-off OVA, no, that's like an episode of TV.
Bible Black is
and
not a one-off OVA. It's a multi-series.
I know that. I'm talking about the concept of OVAs in general.
Hey everyone, next time we're watching Cream Lemon. Watch us get arrested.
I don't think we're gonna get arrested for Cream Lemon. That's not like some fucking dark web shit. We're
my
gonna be
bit was
fine.
dumb. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, it's yeah, a series, no, but if it's an OVA that's it's
Yeah, the equivalent of watching
the
a
equivalent
short
of a
film.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
Oh, Lord.
Man, does
I
that
don't
mean
even
we
know
can we can watch what is it?
That's right. We're all watching the Wizardry OVA.
Yeah, sure.
There's a wizardry OVA?
Hell yeah, there is. It's 30 minutes long. It'd be real breezy,
Sick.
just in, out, done.
Hey, you want to watch Record of Lotus Wars, but only the first OVA because none of the other ones are...
Hi, everyone. Welcome back.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have no idea how we transition into the episode. Hey, hi, welcome to episode 2 of Put It On The List.
Put it on the
We
list.
made it to a second episode. Incredible.
I know. This is a podcast best for many different projects.
Listen, we can't start patting ourselves on the back until we at least get past year 1.
That's
If we can't do that, then we're cooked.
If we make it a year, I'm popping bottles. There's no way.
No, listen, I am buying gold chains.
You're gonna be
I am
building
getting
a
that Shadow the Hedgehog fucking bling. We're doing it all.
You're going to build a champagne pyramid a la the end of Babe Pig in the City, which is the subject of our episode here today.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get a bottle of Dom Paragon and just go.
Paragon?
You know...
Okay, listen, there's a reason behind this. Me, Evie, and Bridget watched Misery last night, and
We
there's
haven't introduced ourselves. This is a
Don't
new
worry about it.
podcast, and you haven't introduced.
It's fine. It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Bridget's right. Okay. Let's introduce the podcast.
My name is Jay. Hi, everyone. That's the voice that you're currently hearing. The voice of Jay.
The voice you're hearing now is Bree. How's it going? You look great. Is that a new haircut? Amazing.
It is, actually.
Wow, you look great.
Thank you.
And they do too, the people listening. But hey, of course, as always, our other two hosts. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Evie.
Hi, Evie.
Hello.
Evie is Evie.
How you doing, Evie?
All right.
Word. Glad to hear you're all right.
Awesome.
How about our fourth and final co-host here?
Hi, it's Bridget, and I'm here to say I love Babe in a major way.
Who doesn't? It's amazing. You know, usually when you hear stories about pigs in a big city, you know, it's
Greg
usually
Miller's
bad news.
Babe.
But
Pig of the city.
It's not Frank Miller.
Frank Miller.
That's
I
a
said
different
Greg.
Miller.
I said Greg.
Oh, you said Greg?
Third Frank.
She did
That's
say
also a different Greg.
well,
George
like,
Miller.
George does shorten to Greg. She's not wrong, you know?
We never
Okay,
clapped.
here.
Do you know what's really fucked up?
Wait. Actually,
There-
we did genuinely forget to clap. Let's clap now before
Okay.
we fucking forget. Yeah.
Alright.
So again, like usual, 1, 2, 3, clap.
Gotcha.
So 1, 2, 3, clap. Beautiful.
Awesome.
All right.
Perfect.
What
Okay,
were you gonna
Misery.
say, Bridget? Yes, we
Wait,
were. So we were
I
watching.
have to say, I just have to say, I want you to know that George Miller's name is literally on the screen next to me, and I couldn't even be bothered to look at it.
I love you. I love you,
Big
girl.
pig in the city is a hell.
No, we're not going straight into it. You were questioning Evie on calling it Dom Perignon.
Okay, yeah, right.
So we were watching Misery last night.
Sounds like a fun film.
It's a fantastic movie that is incredibly harrowing. Amazing performance by Kathy Bates. There's a scene towards the end where, you know, James Caan, legs broken, being forced to write a novel that he really does not want to write. Tricks Kathy Bates into like getting him some celebratory champagne because he's finally finishing this book that she's forcing him to write. And she says, I'll go down to the store and I'll get you some of the best Dom Perignon. And he just looks at her like, yeah, Dom Perignon.
Yeah, you got it.
Like, just fully.
I can't say anything or she's gonna break what's left of my skeleton, so fuck it. You know?
Exactly.
Most
Fair
importantly, that movie also has a pig.
It does have a pig.
It does have a pig.
What happens to
Extremely
the
cute
pig?
I
We
mean,
don't talk about what happened to that.
I bet the pig is just like adopted somewhere. Like
Yeah.
the pig
like,
probably makes it
she-
out fine.
She wasn't doing any like Hannibal Lecter shit, like feeding people to the pig, as far as we know. So like the pig's probably fine, most likely. The thing I was going to say is, we need to think of an icebreaker question for this. Here's one that struck me because of Bridget getting George Miller's name wrong. What is a filmmaker or like actor who you feel like you are constantly like forgetting the name of or getting mixed up on their name? I don't know if I have one, and it is a very specific question, I understand.
The problem with this question is that, like, if you're always forgetting the name, then how are you going to remember it to answer the question?
I mean, I keep accidentally referring to David Lynch as Stephen Lynch, which is a very different.
That's a very
That is very
different one.
Yeah, slightly different.
Like, as far as I know, David Lynch is not going to sit down with a guitar and start singing comedy songs that have maybe aged in dubious ways.
I really want to fuck your sister. Yeah, you know, not really a great. Like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of him anymore, but there was a time in my life.
And that's the end of our icebreaker question segment for today, because I don't have an answer for that. For that, there's none that pop up. I meant to think
What
of
a
a
great
question before we
icebreaker
started.
question in which nobody can answer it.
I tried to think of a better one.
You did
beforehand,
try.
but I forgot. I forgot to think of a better question.
What's your favorite Miller? Miller Lite, George Miller, Greg Miller?
How the fuck do we intro this? Where are we cutting this?
I mean, if the choice is genuinely between those three, it's George Miller without a doubt.
Okay,
like
wait.
100%.
Okay, I got a question.
What do you got?
All right. So in Mulholland Drive, which is the previous film that we covered,
Yeah.
it features a family, like a quick eating restaurant that's clearly supposed to be Denny's, but it's named Winkies.
I see. Okay.
So if you were making a movie or whatever, and like you had to like take a restaurant and file the serial numbers off, like what would be the restaurant and what would be the fake name for it?
Oh, that's fascinating. But I guess it would need to be like a chain that's well enough known that, you know, feel like that family restaurant thing.
Yeah, at least a Denny's.
At least on the... Does it have to be like a family chain or just any restaurant?
Yeah, anything.
Long Dong Silvers.
What kind of movie are you making?
You said that so confidently.
You know, we were talking about Bible Black earlier, so
Yeah,
I guess that
fair.
answers the question.
Fair enough. I guess fuck. Mine would be maybe subfem for Subway or something like that. Subdom.
Subdom.
there you go.
Eat fresh.
Perfect.
Good lord.
We're eating good tonight, ladies.
Oh yeah.
Give you the golf clap on that one.
Only Subdom has that wonderful smell, that beautiful musk that whisks out the door the moment you open the...
God, I'm trying to think of anything, but I'm coming up blank. Do you have an answer, Evie? While I stall for time.
I think it'd be funny to have Arby's, but instead it's like Darby's, and like
Yo,
Darby. He's got the meat.
Yes.
I like Mr. Donkey's. You know, the very quick fast food place. Yeah.
It's probably only funny to me, but the idea, probably because I imagine it being something that's like going through Google Translate like 5 times, would be like hamburger royalty for Burger King.
That would be very funny.
But that's the best thing that I
Come
got.
down to Bimbo Burgers.
What is Bimbo Burger a play on?
I
No,
really love
I
the
thought of
wall
a good one.
hangings and ample
Wait,
bars.
wait. I thought of a good one.
What's up?
Why a burger?
Why a burger? Why?
Yeah, I like that.
No, you know what it is? You have the guy from Hadaway on the sign and it just says, "What is burger?" What is lunch? Baby, order me.
Order me some more.
I don't like
What
that
is
because that
lunch?
is
Can I get
too
that with
real.
a Coke?
Yeah, I feel like that
ideas
could.
for free. I should
Yeah,
shut
that
up,
could.
but-
Someone could do that.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
What were you saying, Bridget? I heard you say something under your breath.
Oh, that this bit is too real.
Yeah.
You're lying. I feel like that is the exact thing some exec says. Print it. That's money on the table.
Steal it.
I mean, considering that McDonald's is doing the like anime Whack-Donald's thing at this point, like for real, like I don't think we're far off.
I also want to go as far as to say that
Yeah.
any of our talks on advertisement are a definite trademark of Put It on the List, and all of the Power Party members involved, please contact us through our co-host if you wish to buy any of our ideas. They're entirely on lockdown. Anyway.
Patent pending.
Patent pending.
I feel like you could go with a Wahlburgers, but like if you wanted to do a different family of washed up actors, you could be Bald Burgers.
Maybe.
Welcome to Bunghole Burgers.
All the sesame seeds just like shaved off of it because all I can think is like bald. Like the Northern Lion burger experience.
Yeah, it can.
Anyways,
it can have
just-
salt on it too, because the bald head gets hot and sweaty.
Any head gets hot and sweaty.
But
if anything,
especially-
you're more like likely to get sweaty when you have hair on your head. What are you talking about?
But it's direct sun. So it's like burnt on the top. You get salt burnt.
Okay, the bit has gone stale. We need to move on.
But yeah, like the bread on it.
There you go.
Let's beat last time by 5 minutes. Everyone, so we finally watched Babe Pig in the City.
Yeah, so would you care to share with us, Bree, why you chose Babe Pig in the City? And, or did we explain the connection last time?
We did, but I'll explain it again for people who might
Fair.
be just coming in now or maybe
Yes.
haven't heard the other in a while. The reason we chose this one is because...
You chose this one.
I
Don't
chose
put
it.
this on we.
The reason I chose this one is very obviously we have a connection in the voice. In the cast, Naomi Watts, the main girl in Mulholland Drive, does additional voices in Babe Pig in the City, and I did not know that. But I found it looking it up, and I thought, I've never seen Babe Pig in the City. I've heard this is kind of a cultural landmark for some people that they grew up with. And it's like, I've heard it referred to.
Have
and
you?
I'm like, well, I have. So I said, let's sit down and watch what's probably going to be, a very... This was the first time I watched it, mind you. A very calm, nice, kind of relaxing, kind of easygoing film. It's just going to be a nice, no committal, non-intensity. Let's just watch a nice little easy to digest film. Wrong was I, and upon realizing this, I knew it had to be the next one. Yes, this had to be the one. This fucking film is insane.
Okay, before we dive into these insanity,
Yes.
you need to give us like just a cursory summary of what Babe Pig in the City is about.
Essentially, the movie begins by telling us that, the farm's in trouble, finances are needed, because the main guy, for reasons we'll get into, is, the main farmer is kind of out of commission for a bit. And in the means to get this money, the farmer's wife has to take to the big city. Which city that is, we'll start bargaining on later. And they'll go there, and, she takes the pig because the way they're going to pay for the farm is to have an appearance fee given to them for showing up with their prize-winning pig, for this pig being an amazing sheepdog.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's kind of our premise. That's what we're starting on.
Hijinks ensue would be
yes,
the way
yes.
that you capstone that.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
they end up stuck in the city, and then stuff happens.
Yes.
Oh, such stuff will happen.
Yeah. So
I got arrested for drug smuggling.
We'll get to that.
does anyone, because I know I watched it as a child, not this one, but the original Babe. Does anyone remember what the hell happens in the original Babe film?
Like, it might
I
have been
remember
on
that,
TV.
that
but-
mother figure sheep dies and he's sad, and that's all I remember.
I mean,
I have played the Blast PS2 Babe game, which has a pig honk meter.
we cannot get lost in the video game tie-ins of that.
Like I had missed the Babes pretty completely growing up.
I've never been very good with babes, until I became one myself, But
Ba-dum-bum.
anyway,
So, anyways.
we don't know, but we think the original one is a little more normal.
Yes,
We
we're pretty
don't
sure the original one is at least as normal as a talking animal film can be.
Yeah, it is it's more directly based on the book, which is about the sheep pig. And it is more straight down the middle, but it's I think a thing that's I think a consistent thematic through line about it is the whole reason why Babe is trying to figure out how to be a sheepdog is that's the alternative to him being killed and eaten.
Food.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is it's a bit more of a small point in this film. There's a couple of characters who bring it up as an idea, but it's definitely not a focal point.
No, not
If
at all.
anything, the main focal point is just what the hell can you do, babe? You are just a pig in a big city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can any of us do in a big city?
The original plays a lot more with the idea of Yeah, it takes place largely on this like very idyllic sort of, you know, storybook farm, but Babe's whole purpose there is to eventually just be killed and eaten.
But he eventually somehow finds his way into sheep herding and is apparently so good at it that he wins a national contest for like best sheepdog in whatever country this is supposed to take place in. And then for this,
James Cromwell says, "That'll do, pig, that'll do." And then
the main cultural takeaway that everyone has from Babe as a franchise is that catchphrase.
And I think that the conundrum that he is attempting to escape is very, and I'm going to make kind of a deep literary reference here, a Charlotte's Webbian sort of scenario where he's like, I don't want to be turned into fucking bacon grease. I need to do something that's fascinating and be like useful and helpful.
Sure.
He really does want to help, and that does come up in the intro to the film.
He's a very genuine character, I would say.
Very lovable.
This isn't like Charlotte's Web where, you know, the girlfriend has sex off screen, is like, I'm floating away with my billions of babies. See you
I don't
later.
remember that.
But it also does have a gay rat, which makes it that part is good. Bless that gay rat.
20 minutes
Works
in,
with
do
gay
we want to
rats.
talk
We
about the film
do
now?
appreciate gay rats. Like,
Yes, let's go ahead, Evie.
oh yeah, just like I think a thing with Babe, and like particularly how he's positioned in in the current movie that we're supposed to be talking about. He's like. He's a character who is just like so like he's got real big like shonen protagonist energy in that like he is so like pure of heart and like consistently acts from just like a position of kindness that like other people are changed by that just by being around him.
I would almost say that it's less shonen protagonist, and it becomes later on verging on Messiah like figure for the rest of the animals in this movie. But to actually start talking about the things that happen in Babe, Pig in the City, we start off with the narrator talking about, and so the greatest sheepdog in the land was a pig.
Well,
it's zoom.
Wait. Before we get started on the stuff that actually happens in the movie, I want to talk about like the movie as like.
Yes,
because like one of the things I did to prepare for this podcast is listen to another podcast, Blank Check. They did an episode on Babe, Pig in the City, and not to make this podcast about talking about another podcast, but that episode had Travis McElroy on it, and not to roast Travis McElroy for a podcast appearance from 4 years ago, but I wanted to fight him the entire time.
Sounds about right for Travis.
He tried to show his then 3-year-old child this movie, and it's like, that's on you, dog. That's on you.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Lord.
we can get into whether this is a movie that is actually appropriate for children as we get further in.
Yeah,
But we gotta start talking about it.
Well, hold on. I'm talking about the movie. It's just like
sorry.
I want to talk about it as like an object that exists in the world. So the thing that I learned about this and learned about the original Babe is that it is like you would maybe look at this and think, oh, George Miller suddenly jumping on and directing this Talking Pig movie. He was all up in the original Talking Pig movie. He had apparently read the book some years past and was like, and kind of like sat on it and waited for talking animal technology to catch up to it. But by the time that happened, his career was in a position where he had just finished Lorenzo's Oil, which is the most normal George Miller movie, and failed, and The Witches of Eastwick, which is a studio movie, and like yeah, he struggled with working in that environment, and he was like, I can't do a talking pig movie right now. My reputation would never survive. So what he did was, to hear him tell it, he apparently served this movie up on a platter to Chris Noonan, who is the director, or excuse me, he served the original movie on a platter to Chris Noonan, who is a protege of his in the Australian film scene. And so it's Noonan's first movie. It like does it, the production is apparently like highly contested between the two of them. It's just like it was so like contentious, where like Noonan is trying to direct it, but Miller is there as a producer, but like he recognizes that this is gold, and he like tries to have like a heavy hand in making that movie, and it causes extreme bad blood between the two, like to this day. And like, but the movie's great. Like, it's a thing I didn't know is that like Bay was like a critical consensus for that year, like critical consensus movie for that year, where like it was actually like movie people loved it on top of it just being successful. And so like there's an element to this movie, and something like this maybe we're thinking about as we kind of go through it bit by bit, where George Miller is coming into this being like, I'm the reason that fucking Talking Pig movie was hot shit, and I will show all of you that Chris Noonan ain't shit. I'm the guy who did it, and I will prove it all to you.
And I will say that I think I want this to be the last point before we like actually start doing beat by beat. This movie has gotten emotionally more effective to me every single time that I have watched through it.
And I think same for me, honestly, because I too was kind of feeling those little, like, once you can absorb this after knowing what's happening, not getting blindsided by everything happening like a minute-long TikTok video.
Yeah.
You can finally be like, okay, I know what happens here, and you can absorb what's happening instead of point after point being suddenly blindsided. Mm-hmm. So that allowed us to kind of really take this in. This is, again, another film like the previous one, Mulholland Drive, where I'm going, you gotta watch this like 3 times.
Which is a completely ridiculous thing to say about a literal, like, family movie.
I did not think I would be sitting here saying that when I said, let's watch this film.
So, starting off the movie again.
We should also know that Greg Miller is known for Mad Max primarily.
George Miller.
George Miller.
He directed I think by this point, Mad Max is like the main thing. He had done like through
and
Beyond
Happy
Thunderdome.
Feet.
Well, he does Happy Feet after this.
Yeah, Happy Feet isn't for like all like nearly another decade.
Yeah, by this point he has made the Mad Max films through Beyond Thunderdome, Lorenzo's Oil, which is like a kind of sleepy medical drama, and The Witches of Eastwick, which is a weird studio movie.
Like, I know we're itching to get into it, but this is one of those movies where I do think it is important to like preface it with all of this because of like George Miller being who he is.
Yeah, if you're going to give me an opportunity to talk about George Miller, I'm going to talk about George Miller. You can't stop me.
Okay, but now, please, take the reins, Bree.
I shall. So, as Jay mentioned earlier, we come in to this movie with like the front page of a newspaper talking about how this award-winning sheep pig, the most important sheepdog was a pig, yes. And so the film opens up on that. The pig is returning from this winning sheepdog tournament to a huge parade of folks. So there's not a lot going on in this town, right? These folks are holding signs and cheering, and it's so big, despite there being, you noticed this watch through the last time we saw it, no other houses even remotely visible in the world of this farm, and all of these people are here to celebrate this pig.
They got
I understand
march.
it being a small town, but like, where did they come from?
They got a marching band. They got a plane doing like skywriting. There's a dude on a fiddle just fucking wiling out that
nuts.
you can't hear.
That man just like, but you can't hear it. I think they might have recorded that fiddle guy to put a fiddle sound over it, but they couldn't get the fiddle guy at the last minute. That's my take. But yeah, so this is a big deal. This returning pig.
My dad grew up in a town like that, where it's just like, you know, it's, you can see the houses. They are within eyesight, but like, it's a walk to get to them, you know?
Yeah.
For sure. I was gonna ask you, because I know you're from like a smaller area, if like this seems accurate for like small towns to you.
I mean, like, this is, I mean, like, look, this operate, like, I'm gonna be funny and say, yeah, it's 100% accurate.
Right. So this is an idyllic farm, right? A big kind of sprawled out, beautiful, idyllic storybook farm, right? And quickly, this moves into, you know, the narrator. It's just in the narrator says, okay, you know, it's mentioning how like the farmer was trying to fix the water pump for the well. Babe tried to help the farmer replace the water pump. He was about to learn 2 harsh words of regret. If only. And listing the if-onlys that led to him knocking one of the rocks of the well down into the well where the farmer was, hitting him in the head, throwing off one of the weights, sending him flying. The pig goes down, so then he goes down. The farmer is getting fucked up in this whole exchange, and it seems almost immediately you get the idea that did he just kill the farmer?
No, yeah.
Like he seems head down in the water by the time the pig's down there with the motor. And
if a man James Cromwell's age actually went through something like that,
he would be dead.
He would be fucking dead.
Yeah,
he would be double dead. He'd be
like,
in super hell. Okay, there's just no way.
Yeah, like, I feel like this, however grounded the original movie may or may not have been, like, you are immediately taken into Looney Tunes land, like, with this movie, you know, on the other side. Yeah, on the other side of that scene with the well.
And frankly, the fact that they even somehow got out of the well at all is a miracle, with how fucked up you see James Cromwell being. Like, the man is practically in a full body cast in the next scene that we see him in.
He's fucked up. But we see he forgives Babe. The man understands he's a saint. And so as you start to feel like, all right, we're starting to get to a level of sanity again, the Looney Tunes shit is up. The mice that are sitting in the corner of the room begin singing operatically.
Yes. And unfortunately, Mrs. Hoggett is stuck taking on all of the responsibility at the farm, which she already had her hands full with like the general work that she did. And now she's having to worry about like paying for the land that they live on and everything. And then suddenly 2 men in suits come rounding the hill that they live next to. And the narrator describes the men as having soulless eyes.
Pale faces, soulless eyes.
And they are from the bank. Capitalists have no soul, said George Miller.
Yeah, like another thing between this, like, you know, I feel like it makes sense to talk about the first movie as if we're kind of like in this kind of transition state between that and the second one. Like, the first movie, like, Babe figures out like he figures out what he's doing with his life, right? And this movie is about the business of actually trying to live in the world and how horrible that is.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, Mrs. Hoggett, she's trying to like find something that she can do to try and help pay the bills around here.
They gotta protect the farm.
Yeah,
And
when she remembers that.
Babe.
Yeah,
No.
not gonna sell Babe, not gonna sell the land. So she's like, you know what we can do? We were getting all these invites after like Babe's amazing performance last time. And they're paying like a generous appearance fee at this one here. We're gonna fly out to that and we are gonna get that money and take care of things. And Babe is like, fuck that shit, I'm gonna hide in the hay. I don't want to do that. I refuse. And it was in this scene, like, as the rest of the farm animals are, like, trying to encourage Babe to, like, just do it. Like, you gotta help out the farm, man. Like, the boss, he ain't doing too hot. Like, if we don't do something, we're all gonna lose each other. So I noted, like, the animal acting in this movie is, like, really good.
It's really
like,
good.
It's kind of amazing to consider how much and how long the process had to be to get, like, all that coordination for these animals to, like, hit their marks perfectly in the way that they do throughout the film.
Teaching them to speak English was really impressive.
Well, this movie uses, like, all three things. It's or like three different ways to depict animals. They're extensive puppetry, like the pelicans are all puppets.
Baby's puppets at times.
Baby's puppets at times. The CG mouth moving to, like,
and the CG mouths have aged, like, surprisingly well.
No,
like,
yeah, like, for the time, I was gonna say that it looks so good.
it looks like, I wouldn't say it looks so
I'm
good.
not saying
it looks,
it's HD 4K brilliance, but I'm saying when you consider the time this was done in, it's really surprising. I was not expecting it to look this good.
It works about as well as you can expect, you asking a different creature to make human mouth sound, movement. And then, as you said, it uses real animals. So it uses, like, you know, three different mediums to try to convey the various creatures of the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Babe is still on the fence about it. The animals are all encouraging him, and they wheel out the boss on the wheelchair, and he calls for the pig, and Babe finally understands, like, yeah, I know what I gotta do. So him and Mrs. Hoggett, they hop on a plane, and, you know, you have the first moment of the little chapter introductions that we have, which are some of my favorite moments in the film, because that's another one of those, like, you just get sideswept by various small moments in there. The first one is fine. It's just, you know, scram, this is not a farm.
Yeah, and these are all, like, they're all sung by, or, like, they're announced by the singing mice, who are kind of like the Greek chorus of the movie.
Exactly, yeah. So they, from, like, that earlier scene, they're there doing all of these title cards. So they mention that, yeah, scram, this is not a farm. So I believe that brings us into the plane, where she is the one normal-looking human being with a ton of CEOs and people in suits and proper, like, who is this bizarre hick who doesn't know how to use the floating device? Like, everyone on the plane has a suit. It's like what every, like, airliner's dream to, like, think planes still are is now. It's fucking insane. But she's the odd one out, the weird hick on that plane, and the duck's trying to follow. We see an Aflac ad, like, duck going, hey, wait for me! And it looks like he gets sucked into the motor, but I guess he doesn't because he lives. But he can't quite catch up with the plane yet. This is important. But, you know, Babe is, of course, in the animal Babe, singing Jingle Bells to himself. And just having a good
Why
time.
Jingle Bells?
I don't know.
That's, like, one of those things that I keep wondering to myself during that scene, is like, why is he humming Jingle Bells?
It's a nice song. It's a comforting, basic tune he can just kind of ground himself with.
I wonder if that's something that, like, ties back to the original movie that we just not aware of.
Maybe.
I'm willing to bet that a lot of, like, because there's another moment later on where Babe starts singing too, that, like, I gotta imagine it's probably tied to the first movie in some way. I imagine it might not be, and George Miller was just like, yeah, do it.
It's funny to have a pig sing Jingle Bells.
Yeah,
you earned it, George. Go ahead. Go off, King. So, you know, yeah, they're in this plane. They take off. They finally get where they're going, and Babe meets a drug-sniffing dog, a little beagle, just sniffing around, doing his job. And
New Yorker dog.
Yeah,
He's
New
very
York
much
dog.
like, get the fuck out of here.
Hey,
what are you
get
doing?
the fuck out of here. What are you doing? So he's just saying, like, you know, hey, I don't know where I am.
Hey, whoa,
looking
I'm
for
sniffing my
human, and
ass
I'm
over
hungry.
here. Sorry.
So he explains what he does, and it's just like, you know, well, listen, here's my job. I see all this stuff here. I gotta sniff all of this. And if I find the right thing and I find the right smell, I'm make a barking noise and they give me treats.
I make a barking noise just like this. And he starts barking, and all the security is alerted to Babe, pulls him off of the line and into like the back rooms where they examine shit for drugs. And, you know, Mrs. Hoggett, she's standing at baggage claim when like two men in suits walk up and pull her into the back, being like, ma'am, we think your pig is full of drugs. Yeah. And frankly, you're lucky that you're white, because we are just going to do a cavity search and then you're out of here.
Yeah, they're just like, go over there and strip naked and we're doing this. So they miss their connecting flight.
Yes.
And they can't get to where they need to be. So suddenly they are in this city. They are stranded. They're trying to find a place to stay, but no place will put up an animal. This is the big city. There's no animals in the big city. So she can't find a place to bring the pig. And so she's, for a little bit, she's sitting there like in the airport.
Swaddling Babe like
baby.
the baby Jesus.
Yeah. The baby Jeebus. So,
ma'am, you can't have your pig. You can't have your pig in. You need animal.
Yeah, the scram.
This is not a farm.
Yeah, that's where the title comes from in that part.
There it is.
But thankfully, she's helped out by a kindly janitor in the airport.
He looks like hoggish.
Wait, no. You wait for the reveal. The reveal that happens. You know, you only see him from the back, and he hands her a card saying, like, here, you can take your pig here. And, you know, the narrator is like, Mrs. Hoggett did not understand on that day why the man helped her out. And he turns around and he's got, like, a pig nose going on for some reason.
He looks like Hoggish Greedley from
He does look like Hoggish Greedley.
Planet.
I do not remember.
Hoggish Greedley is the big pig face
She's
guy.
right.
I don't remember what character you're talking
And
about.
Hoggish Greedley Jr.
So,
Yes, I also remember
this
Hoggish Greedley
big-faced
Jr.
gentleman helps her find a hotel. They take off, they go to that. There they go. You know, and probably, you know, where were we? I got thrown off.
We got thrown off by Hoggish Greedley.
They gotta find a hotel because they're stuck in the city.
Yeah, and it just hard cuts to her like walking down the city street trying to find that hotel he directed her to. And the mice are
talk about this.
And the mice are standing on the on her suitcase as she's walking around singing That's Amore. And for me, that's the moment where the reality of the film starts breaking down.
Oh, yes.
Because it's just like, wait, why is this happening? And then suddenly you start looking around at the architecture of the city that's surrounding her, and there's like Venetian canals like surrounding her on the streets. You see skyscrapers in the background. There's Russian onion domes on some of the buildings.
There's Cantonese billboards. There's fucking, like, it's insane. Like, what is this? And there appears to be a backdrop of a city that's like, you know, a greater city disconnected. I'm not talking about that yet.
Okay.
There is still at first some like weirdly like disconnected from everything else city buildings that you can kind of see the top of in the background.
Well, that's what I was talking about.
The only thing that really kind of fits in there being what looks like some Amsterdamian kind of those tall buildings with a little bit of ground settling, you know, because of the way that the ground works there, topographically speaking. But it's just all of these different weird places with like obviously a city drop going on behind it. There's clearly a larger city behind it. Put a pin in that.
Like I think like the neat thing about how this is the neat thing about how this is done is just like this isn't like Babe Pig in a city or Babe, you know, Pig takes Manhattan or whatever. This is the city. This is all cities at the same time.
I would almost compare like
the Earth City.
I would almost compare like this moment of like things seeming slightly off and you could tell that there's more to like the hints at like Anor Londo in Dark Souls when you're first playing that game, and when the reveal happens, it's like when you get pulled over the wall.
Oh, but that doesn't happen yet because
yes, I mean, you know, she knocks on the She finally finds the hotel, knocks on the door, and she's greeted by a lady that I would describe as looking like Angela Anaconda.
I would say like a female emo Phillips, so pretty much in that realm.
Sure. Who's telling her, like, we don't take animals here. What the fuck are you talking about? Get out here. We don't take animals. We don't take animals. And, you know, she...
What kind of place do you think this is? Get out of here.
She walks away dejectedly, and then suddenly from, like, the back alley, that same lady is like, hey, come here.
Come here.
Yeah. We do take animals. How long are you planning to stay? Like, everyone around here is so cruel. They don't understand that animals need a place to stay.
Yeah, like, especially the lady just across the way. There's this lady who's like, she just hates animals and just doesn't, like, where are these animals supposed to go?
There's a horrible
but she
opera
hates
woman across the street.
Just has it out for them. Yeah,
I'm glad that's how we all refer to her, as, like, the horrible opera lady.
That's all we know.
She's like the neighbor from Bewitched who is just like constantly looking out the front of Adna.
That reference is lost on me, but
Same,
let's
but-
continue onward.
Diaper Dan.
Abner, there's a
Continuing
pig
on.
across the street.
Continuing on, female emo Phillips is, you know, walking Mrs. Hoggett through the apartment and, like, telling her all the various rules about the apartment.
This
Or
is
not
Mrs.
apartment,
Flume,
hotel.
by the way.
Hotel,
Is
yeah.
the name of the character.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and like I love her look. She's just like she's extremely angular, which is
That's a good way of describing it. Like, her head literally looks like her hair looks like a protractor.
I could see it.
basically. But yeah, walking her through all the rules. You have some, like, cute little interactions with other animals between Babe and them along the way. You meet Fleelig, who's like this cute little, like, paraplegic, like, Jack Russell Terrier rolling around, who, like, can't see well. So he's trying to introduce himself. He's be like, oh yeah, hey, are you friendly? Are you friendly? You a dog? Are you
You're
like,
a cat?
what's up with
You
you?
better not
Are
be
you
a cat. We don't want
If you-
cats on this floor.
Yeah, no cats on this floor. Like,
I don't know if that's like supposed to like reflect upon his eyesight or if just like no one seems to know what Babe is. No one in the city seems to know what a pig is.
That is true. They're like they don't. None of them seem to know what a pig is.
Like, because the chimpanzees also do not know what a pig is later.
Orangutan knows, but orangutan is
Yeah.
smart.
yes.
He's a
Well,
smart guy.
I want to say there's like a small little throwaway line where Fleelig or one of the other, like, roommate dogs of him mention that, like, his eyesight isn't super
okay.
great.
The gay dogs.
Yes, the
The
power
husbands.
couple.
Yeah.
Are the dogs, wrist flick?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They pass by a room where you hear, like, some animals singing, but you don't get to see inside of it. So, you know, that's a horror that awaits you later on.
Oh, yes.
But eventually, you know, Mrs. Hoggett gets up to her room. She starts making herself at home. She pulls out her framed photo of James Cromwell that she always keeps on hand.
Who doesn't?
Where he's just icy hot stare looking right at the camera. Just like, oh, man, daddy.
God, I am going to flick the bean to this man later. I forgot how handsome this photo of my husband is.
And it's in this moment she opens up the window and you have Babe looking outside and you get a slow zoom in of his view of the window. And at first it just looks like a normal city, like, skyline. And as you get closer and closer into his full view, you see the Hollywood sign. You see the, like, the Jesus statue in,
The
like,
Twin
Brazil.
Towers.
The Eiffel Tower.
The Twin Towers, the Eiffel Tower. You
Golden Gate Bridge. Sydney Opera House.
Yeah, this
the
movie was
St.
released in
Basil's
98.
Yeah. The city.
As Evie prefaced earlier, the city.
Yeah.
Like, it is everywhere and nowhere at once, and your brain proceeds to melt.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea what's happening now.
Indeed.
So I didn't realize this, but like the poster for this movie is just the fucking Wizard of Oz movie
Yes.
poster.
Yep.
The
Absolutely.
city is in fact Oz.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
I would say kind of. She's 100% on point. I never, like, properly acknowledged it in my brain, but when I think on that poster, I'm like, yeah, that's just the yellow brick road.
Yeah, it's literally a yellow brick road leading to the ultimate city. Except it's not Oz in this case, it's just the city.
Yeah, I think the main difference though is that like the Wizard of Oz is like it's the journey, right? But like here, you know, they're already like, in the Emerald City.
Yeah,
and...
it would be like if you landed at Oz and you were already in Oz.
Yeah. So,
or Emerald City, I mean.
Before you have a moment to even fully trap that all in your brain and process it, suddenly a small monkey like breaks into their hotel room and steals not only Mrs. Hoggett's suitcase but also the framed photo of James Cromwell. Like, he makes a note to grab that, put it in the suitcase, and then take the suitcase away.
Oh yeah, we're gonna need this.
And Babe is like, oh fuck no. No,
you are not stealing my shit.
Yeah,
chases him down.
This monkey is. Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to note that the monkey is cool. That's a cool monkey. Like, the monkey doesn't talk, but like, it's still just like it's running around, it's wearing a kilt. It just like steals stuff and it does mischief, and that's great.
Yeah, steals stuff for Mickey Rooney, who we'll get around to in just a moment here. So yeah, steals the suitcase, takes it off to another hotel room. Babe chases after him, forces his way, or doesn't force his way in, but basically pesters at the door long enough for a lady chimpanzee in a full dress and wig to open up the door and be like, what the hell are you doing here? What do you want? Like, what is this? And you are, as the viewer, are also looking at this like, what the fuck is happening? Why is she in a full dress and wig? Why is there a monkey with a crew cut with like suspenders and a wife beater on?
And why is there a
voiced
smaller
by
one?
Stephen Wright hanging out here?
And why is there a smaller one who looks like Wallace the Claymation Man? And just fucking... Like, you know, so there's a lot going on again suddenly. Like, all of these monkeys talk. These are chimps. And then an orangutan comes in.
Well, let's pinpoint the fact that they are basically gaslighting Babe about the fact that they stole Mrs. Hoggett's shit. They're like, listen, all we saw is this monkey bring a suitcase in here. There's no way you can prove that he stole from you.
Yeah.
And like it's very much just like the law of the city. You're just like, we got your shit, and what are you gonna do? You're gonna kind of try to come get it?
Yeah. Good luck. We can literally tear a person's face off, let alone a pig's.
Yeah.
Continue though.
So yeah, he's saying like, yeah, I'm not leaving without it. And then we meet suddenly an orangutan. Thelonious is just fucking, oh my god, he is goated with the sauce, this man. He's got like on this very nice suit, very together, very proper, very I am more evolved than the...
And proceeds to like tear Babe apart in an intellectual way, just being like, yeah, he's part of this genus and phylum whose sole purpose is to be turned into fucking bacon. Like, just saying, like, your existence is nearly worthless aside from sustenance.
If you think you have processed this, you were wrong, because now immediately after you begin to do so, Mickey Rooney comes in, all right? And let me tell you.
With his worst look, as Evie said when we first watched this all together, since Breakfast at Tiffany's, which is saying a lot, considering he was doing fucking Yellowface in that movie.
Yeah. He is an elderly man who is carrying a ton of candy and sweets with ice cream smeared on him in a fashion that we all thought at first view looks like an insane man has been huffing paint. Yeah. His hair's all messed up. He doesn't look like he knows where he is, like he's been doing whippets the whole time. Enters the room in this delirious state. He doesn't look any more like the monkeys have it way more together in the brain category than this guy. Like,
yeah,
it looks like
lost.
you woke him up from bed and he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, and but to give the movie credit, like, it's everything makes sense as you watch it like the second time. It's just that there's so fucking much information that this movie throws at you in every single like frame and scene that like you can only understand it like watching it at least a second time or pausing like every 10 seconds to like process all of that visual information.
I only saw it once and I mostly understand it. skill issue.
I don't mean understanding it. I got what the point of the movie was. I meant in just taking in everything that's happening.
I forget, is it the pigs or does Mickey Rooney hide the pig?
Mickey Rooney hides the pig,
That was it.
but
Puts him in like a chest, in like a trunk.
as the pig starts trying to make noise, Thelonious like sits on top of the case,
right.
being like, "Nah, shut up."
Clearly hiding him. But, the person who the lady who's running this place, brings Miss Hoggett over going, "We'll ask my Uncle Fugly." That's his name in this kid's movie, my Uncle Fugly.
Yeah.
If he's seen anything. So they go down there, they're still hiding Babe. And so he opens up the door.
Let's fucking note the fact that Uncle Fugly looks like he is going to strangle Mrs. Hoggett.
Oh yeah,
like
when
he's
comes
reaching
out,
for her throat.
Like he
for
looks
some reason.
Frankensteinian's monster sort of thing, just coming out with his arms, going for her neck, like, like, could you tell her where her pig went to, perhaps?
It's so weird. It's so fucked up.
So he claimed, and he speaks in gibberish, so he's talking through the lady. Did you catch that? He said he saw something that looked pig-like going a few streets down that way, just misleading her completely.
Yeah.
So she's wandering into town.
Well, no. Before she wanders into town, we need to note what the next chapter name is, which is you have the mice appear on screen. Well, no, actually, before even that, the mice are watching this scene play out, and they're like, "Oh, that shit's weird. Oh, anyways, I hear singing over here. Let's go check that out." They crawl under a door and see a choir of, like, cats that are, like, in, like, forward motion and then backwards, like, looping motion to, like, signify that they are, like, actually moving the way that they're supposed to be, and also a mix of puppetry, and they're like singing a choir
it's
tune.
like a full choir of cats.
Yeah, and that is like a -1 sanity point moment in this movie where it happens, and you're just like, what the fuck? What? No.
I think this is where in my notes I've written down nightmare film.
Yes, absolutely. Like, that is a nightmare moment in this film.
In the first couple watch throughs, I believe you called it Freddy Got Fingered core.
Yes.
This was so suddenly everything.
Oh wait, I don't know.
Like
I have singing cats after burning down the cancer ward.
No.
We'll get to
No. The cat choir is before the cancer ward. But anyways, after the mice run out of the room because they're like, "Oh shit, singing cats, we're gonna get ate." We cut to the next title card. The mice pop into frame, and you just hear them say, "Chaos Theory!" And I cackled uncontrollably the first time I heard that.
I still laugh at it.
And we cut to Mrs. Hoggett going through the city. There's people like on stilts walking around. There's a mime juggling on a unicycle. They got like Hell's Angels bikers going around, ladies in swimsuits. Like, I don't know what the city is.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
There's a surf shop, there's a tattoo parlor, there's something else going on here. It's just this mishmash of stuff and a bunch of billboards with no real indication of what or where it is.
And Mrs. Hoggett is walking around yelling, "Pig! Pig, pig, pig!" And a bunch of cops look at her like, "What, you talking shit, lady?"
Yeah.
And then eventually one of those like Hell's Angels dudes like gets mad at her thinking that she's calling him a pig, and it leads to like pushing and shoving. Someone gets knocked over, and there's like
motorcycles fall.
There's essentially a 10-car pileup of people that occurs on the street. A man on a ladder like putting up a billboard gets knocked over. He knocks over a bucket of adhesive that lands on Mrs. Hoggett's head, looking like she got coated in bukkake.
Oh yes, it is a problem.
The hot babe kake.
Basically.
Those cops look like they stepped out of Mad Max, like straight up.
Yeah, like 100%. So you have all of that happen. She gets thrown into a paddy wagon and like wheeled away. And then hard cut to Uncle Fugly performing a clown show in the fucking cancer ward of a hospital where they like... Admittedly, the clown show is like, it's a normal clown show, but you're just taken aback because you're like, wait, why? What? Huh?
What is this?
Why are we here? Why is this happening?
We learned that Uncle Fugly and his simians are actually a little circus act, and they're performing in the cancer ward of a hospital. They're using Babe the pig for one of their acts, you know, just kind of doing his little bit. And so Babe walks over to one of the monkeys and he asks, like, you know, when'll be paid? Like, are we getting paid yet? I need money.
You know, the question that every beginning entertainer asks. And,
when do I get paid?
The proper answer is always going to be...
Get back to place.
Yeah. But in the shuffle of him asking, he accidentally trips Uncle Fugly, and a chain reaction that leads to a near burning down of the cancer ward occurs.
Fire spreads everywhere. He's knocked over in his clown costume.
Cancer patients love smoke.
Yeah,
until finally enough smoke has filled the place that their shoddy fucking sprinklers finally turn on, destroying probably all of his wooden props.
And you know, cut back to the hotel. The chimpanzees are like sweeping stuff up, and Babe walks in and is just like, there was never any like payment or reward, was there? And like the monkeys are just like, yeah, there's no guarantees in life, my little pork pie. Like, and the show apparently went so bad that like shortly after that, you see Uncle Fugly like getting wheeled out of the hotel on a gurney, like
with a breathing machine.
He's effectively on his goddamn deathbed. Yeah, apparently.
He tried to drown his sorrows in like sugar and, you know, ice cream or whatever, and it put him into a diabetic coma. Well, like it says so. Like it said that he's in like a food coma. Yeah, he's in like a food coma is what they say.
I missed that note. Yeah,
3 times I watched it. I didn't catch that.
Oh my god.
But yeah, you know, if you're gonna never probably ever get a gig again after almost burning down a cancer ward, I understand that your life is in shambles. That makes sense.
Yeah. But anyways, after we see that happen, you know, we have the little brother monkey watches Thelonious like longingly look out the window at Uncle Fugly, and Uncle Fugly is just like, Thelonious is just like, I tried waking him up, but he wouldn't wake up. And it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, good lord.
Jesus Christ. And the little brother is just like, he'll be fine. He'll be back. You know, the childlike innocence.
Yeah, he always comes back.
And hard cut to, we're in the sky, we see a pelican flying, and turns out we have our first instance on this podcast of vor.
Yes.
You know, well, I don't know.
Light edging vor.
Yes, Bridget, as a vor enthusiast, would you consider this as qualifying or no?
Being carried by a pelican.
I mean, given some of the art, sure, it's not like full on, but you know, normally they're used as urinals or baby holders, but in this case it's
that's so in my notes here, one of the things I have is just that fucking image of the pelican where, let me go ahead and recite it again. It's an image of a pelican with its mouth wide open, and the text below it simply says, pelican mouth, perfect size for put baby into nap. Inside very soft and comfort. Baby sleeps soundly, put baby in pelican mouth. Put baby in pelican mouth. No problems ever in pelican mouth, because good shape and support for baby neck, weak of big baby head. A pelican mouth, yes, a place for a baby. Put baby in pelican mouth. Can trust pelican for giving good love to baby. Friend pelican.
There's definitely been a bit of a decrease in population explosion too, because I'm not seeing any pelicans anymore. You just don't see them that much. That's where babies come from.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I did not get...
Well, that or they sell Vlasic pickles. The point is...
The stork
pelican
delivers babies.
Carrying the duck, because the duck has... We learn from the discussion between the duck we saw.
No. We cannot skip over
God.
the fact that you confused pelicans with storks as the baby deliverers.
They're the same thing.
They're not.
They are.
They're not the same
As
thing.
a bird scientist, they are. Now,
When you
Bridget
order a baby
is-
from Temu, it comes in a pelican, not a stork.
no. There, see? I believe that in equality. I'm going to let them still be that without worrying about labels and none of that. Point is, he delivers them like a stork. He delivers this duck, the duck who was from the farm. I don't know did we mention he was trying to follow them, and so
You did mention it, yes.
I don't know if we had brought that up, but
did.
he's following them to the city where they saw that plane going because he's trying to catch up with it. They drop him off there, and you learn from their conversation with each other that the duck lied and said, "Yeah, no, I need a surgery on this wing. It's all fucked up." And he's just like, "I hope you can get that surgery you need for your wing." He's like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah.
So he flies down, and he finally touches ground on the city where he's going to try and find
Nice
Babe.
little green grass. Looks
Then
like
you
he's
notice
gonna
this
have a
looks
good
like
time.
astroturf, though. Something about this doesn't look like normal. And then you see little targets pop up behind him, and a bunch of Hicks begin opening fire.
No, they are not Hicks. They are people dressed in fucking suits and shit.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
I missed that.
Yes, they are. And it's like a group of 20 people all shooting at the exact same fucking target.
Yep.
They are just laying
Like
out
assault
on
rifles.
It.
It's insane.
No, it's all pistols.
No, they
They're
had some bigger guns. I thought.
no.
I'm gonna
it's-
need to look that up.
It's
I don't know.
all handguns, but they are just unloading so rapidly. And, he rightfully takes off into the sky.
leading to
and
them shooting up into the
just
sky.
directly upward. Those are gonna come down.
Yeah.
Those bullets are gonna come down.
Like Arizonan gun owners. It's fucking insane.
So given the gimmick of our podcast, where we're looking for points of connection between different films, I feel like I'm going to introduce a segment here.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's Cummings Watch. It's Cummings Watch. Do Cummings Watch. Jim Cummings cited.
Wait, where was Jim Cummings in Mulholland
He is
Drive?
I don't know if he is in Mulholland Drive, but he is in Babe for sure, because he is that pelican who delivers Ferdinand to the city. And of course, by Cummings, I mean, Ferdinand the Duck. Jim Cummings, veteran voice actor, also, the allegations are out there. We don't need to get into it, but he's.
If there's a Hollywood voice acting gig, he is probably showing up at least either as a main character, side character, background character.
He's ubiquitous.
He comes all over the place, especially.
Truly.
Leading us to Miss Hoggett. No.
Wait, no, did you have more aside from just
I
pointing
have
out
that.
his?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Cummings Watch is now over.
Is this like Haunted Doll Watch?
Yes.
I mean, it can.
Anyways, so now that, Mrs. Hoggett, she's been thrown into jail, Uncle Fugly is gone, and rightfully so, Mrs. Flume, who is related to him, probably, I would assume, she's her niece, is on his bedside. We don't get to see it, but the implication is there.
Yeah.
So the hotel, empty of humans,
like,
it is
End
nothing
of
but
Eva.
animals. What was that?
It's like End of Eva.
It's empty of humans. It's just
I didn't get the
animals.
connection. Yeah, and you know what domesticated animals can't do without people around typically? Eat.
Yeah, they're in a
'Cause
rough
don't-
shape.
They don't have food provided to them, so everyone is fucking starving, and the monkeys are we gotta be proactive. We gotta go out and get some food for ourselves. So they think to go rob a candy store, and Babe is like, hey, I want to help. I'm hungry. I want some food too. I'm good at sheep herding. Are there any sheeps around that I could herd to help you out with this and get a cut of that? And the monkeys are like, yeah, sure. Let's open up this fence that has a big old sign that says "Savage Dogs" on it, and tell you that they are sheeps. So Babe goes into it. It's a darkly lit room where a Doberman Pinscher like comes out of the shadows and says like, "You must be suicidal coming in here. You should probably run." And Babe is like, "No, I'm just here to do my job." And he's like, "I warned you." And you see a fucking French bulldog like come bolting out of the shadows at Babe.
A little Spuds McKenzie. Those dudes, yeah.
And Babe bails for a sec, peeks his head back in and says, suck my dick from the back, and starts running off again. And the dogs like break loose of their
chain post, and
their chain post is like in the ground, so they get that chain post loose.
They pull it up, but they're still tethered together.
Yeah, they're still tethered down. This is a very important note for where the scene eventually goes.
Yes.
There's this just cracked chase scene where like Il Trovatore, which is like the anvil like opera song, is playing in the background, and I think at a certain point like there's inklings of Ave Maria playing in like the later half of it, but I'm not sure if it is.
I'm not operatically knowing enough. However, speaking of opera, this is another time that we see the opera-loving woman from across the prudes, going, I heard there's a ruckus of those dirty animals out there. It's going crazy.
Oh, honey, you're gonna miss this concerto.
Yeah, you're going to miss the aria.
So, the chase is going on as the dogs are chasing Babe. You see, like, occasional shots of, like, other stray dogs seeing this going along, and they're kind of, like, trolling around, like, following the action, and they eventually like run through like the junkyard where you would immediately get stabbed once the sun goes down if you were in it.
That's the junkyard where you get in fights and Shadowrun to like get the money you need to leave it after they imprison you to fight for money. Yeah. That's where it is. And then it leads directly right back into that circle of things, right back into the canal area where the hotel is.
Yeah,
so it's not
but it's important to note that while they're going through the junkyard, bunch of fucking garbage like gets knocked over. The Doberman Pinscher gets like knocked out of the chase, but the Pitbull is still going after Babe.
Just going
still with the chain around its neck. And eventually, through that chase, like old school lawnmower, like one of those manual ones, gets stuck on the chain, and they're going and going and going. Babe like makes his way to a bridge. He kind of realizes that he's fucking cooked, and he just like turns around and looks as the dog is finally starting to come at it. Dog like rams him, knocks him off the bridge.
Wait. There's a moment there though.
Oh yeah, sure.
The narrator points out, the random events. Sorry, he has these small flashbacks to the random events that led Babe to the moment of his annihilation.
His whole life.
He's having like near-death flashbacks.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna
being
die.
a small pig and milk and getting milk and.
Yeah.
The moment of his annihilation.
Wait, I have the whole quote up here, and I want to say it. So this is the narrator as like the bulldog is bearing down on Babe. Something broke through the terror, flickerings, fragments of his short life, the random events that delivered him to this, his moment of annihilation. As terror gave way to exhaustion, Babe turned to his attacker, his eyes filled with one simple question. Why?
Why? And then promptly, bam, gets fucking like tackled into the water by the dog. Babe falls in, but he at the very least knows how to swim. The dog, in the full force of like doing that ramming, also falls off the bridge, but he's still got the chain around his neck, and the lawnmower gets stuck on the fucking railings of the bridge, effectively hanging the fucking dog upside down
in the water.
Yeah, like where he's just like this dog is being drowned.
He's getting fucking waterboarded.
Yeah. It's getting waterboarded to the point like just basically stops moving at a certain point.
No, yeah.
But
and
everyone's looking at him
yeah,
struggling, watching this happen.
Babe, the
All the
domesticated
dogs.
animals, all the stray animals are just sitting there watching as that dog is drowning, and it's just like, oh my god.
But Babe swims into the water and he starts to try to save him.
Yeah.
Try that in a small town. Here we'll take care of our. He runs in there. He's like, fuck this. I'm gonna save him, right? So he dives in there and he's like asking for help. Like, someone help me. No one's helping. He's pushing this boat.
But the
that's
little
in the
monkey.
water.
The
Yeah.
little monkey comes around and like unhooks the chain so the dog like can land in the boat.
Because he gets him out of the water. He lunges the boat hard enough that he's like pulled out. He can start breathing again. It's like, okay, all right, my God, look, Babe just saved this dog.
And Babe swims back to shore and is effectively greeted as a messiah figure by all the stray dogs in town.
Okay, let's stop here for a second. And like this I feel like this scene is like, this is the apex of the movie, where it's just like, it doesn't get any weirder than this. Like, it doesn't get any more like, this is as wild as it gets, I think.
I would say a little bit later, but like this general sequence of like the start of the chase scene to like the animals all getting like paddy wagoned away, that is like the apex of the movie. But continue on if you had anything more on that point.
Yeah, it's well, one thing is that the Doberman kind of disappears from the movie after this point, and apparently like a reason for that is that there was an edit made to this movie before like it was released. It was submitted to the ratings board. It got a PG. They were like, you can't have Babe in a PG movie. It would be a disaster. And so they edited, like they took out like one instance of quote unquote dog violence to bring it down to a G. And apparently the dog violence involves whatever happened to the Doberman.
Well, I mean,
there was a dog fight?
No, I'm willing
I think
to
something
bet
happened
that,
to the Doberman where the Doberman died.
Oh, man.
like it might be more of an implication of that Doberman like getting crushed under all the junkyard stuff.
Maybe.
Because there's just that like kind of short shot where you see him like pop up on the pile of garbage and he's like holding his paw up like this, like just being like, oh, I can't keep running anymore.
Yeah, maybe that's what they had to do.
Which, if that were the thing that they added in there to get around that, that's fucking cracked that qualifies as like too much dog violence when we see a fucking dog get hung upside down and drowned in water.
Well, wait, it was an omission. Something was taken out in order to get the rating.
Okay.
So like there's an additional instance of dog violence that we do not see.
I feel like my point still stands on that. That scene with the pit bull is fucked up.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
imagine a child seeing
It's not a
that.
pit bull, it's a French bulldog or whatever.
French bulldog, sorry, whatever.
Yeah, it's like it's a bull
it's not
terrier.
French. It's a bull terrier.
Bull terrier. that's the one.
Frenchie are like the
Like they're like little
Oh, yeah.
cream puff
that's
dogs.
right. That's right.
But like I think like there was something that must have been like slightly more traumatizing left in, like that was omitted.
Which
and then
is
like
absolutely
it's wild to consider. I don't even want to think about what that might have been.
Especially when you consider that transitioning back into that scene, all of the stray animals are like giving Babe their story on what happened to them and how they ended up without humans.
Like, oh, this messiah figure, please help me. I know you can help me.
There's one little baby animal that says, my human tied me in a bag and threw me in the river. What the fuck?
There's
No, wait. Hold on. It goes in an order here. There's three of them. My
Sure.
human left me. I never had a human. My human tied me in a bag and throwed me in the water. Like, we're just gonna pretend. What do you mean? What? Anyway, that's all I had to say for that. Go ahead.
Well, the poodle, like, it's another instance of where this movie just like has some kind of like there's the dialogue in this film is incredible. Where what the poodle says is the poodle says, "I know you're different from the others. Those that have had their way with me make their empty promises, but they're all lies."
Yeah.
And I'm afraid and terribly, terribly tired. My humans belong to someone else now, someone younger and prettier. Just like, oh like, my god.
Jesus.
You get the impression throughout this that like what's conveyed here is that the city is like a awful place for animals.
Yeah.
No one in the city likes animals, thus they're all stray, apparently. Like, there's just no animals.
But anyways, so,
one thing to note is, like...
Yes.
Where they're in is not capital big city. They're, like, across the bridge from the true, like, human...
Sure.
Oz,
it's the outskirts of
castle or whatever.
Yeah. And then, after they get the stories from all the stray animals notice like, oh, hey, those monkeys have food. They also have shelter. Hey, you should let us in and give us shelter. Like, that would be really cool if you did that. And like all the domesticated animals are like, fuck no, that's gonna lead to nothing but trouble.
Yeah, you're just gonna create a problem.
Bickering's going back and forth, and then suddenly the pit bull chimes in and is like, hey,
it's not a pit.
The bull terrier
if I fuck up birds and we're calling that out, I'm gonna call you on this.
Fair. That's a fair point. I'll take the critique there.
All right.
The bull terrier cuts in and is like, hey, cut this bullshit out. You're going to listen to the fucking pig and like work together, live together in this hotel and share the food. And they let all the animals inside, and Babe and the pit bull have a little aside before they go in, where like the pit bull is like, where Babe is like conversing with him, being like, oh, you should probably change profession, like, because the pit bull is basically treating himself like an unredeemable murderer. He's like, nah, kid, it's in the blood. Like, we were born as warriors, we can't do nothing about it. And this is the conversation where that line, a murderer's shadow lies hard across my soul.
The line I introed this in the last episode, because I'm like, he
says that he has a professional obligation to be malicious.
Yeah, exactly.
A murderer's shadow lies hard across my soul, says the dog. So he gives him his spike collar.
Yeah.
So now Babe has
badass.
a bitchin' fucking spike collar,
Yeah.
What the pig says goes.
Yeah, this pit bull has been like born again, and then and is just like,
I've been born again, and my new god is Babe.
I was basically going to make that comparison, and Babe and the bull terrier effectively hold like a mob boss, like, handing off of the goods to every single creature that lives in that hotel.
And
everyone's gotta kiss the ring.
Making sure, thank the pig.
Yeah, so each their own jelly bean.
Yeah. Of what they collected from running through the candy shop, the monkeys. So making sure everyone's getting some kind of food.
Yeah, we talked earlier about like the idea that these shots, like this movie is an incredible feat of like animal acting. The shot of them just like all the animals like lined up like up around the staircase and like throughout the hotel, it's just like that must have been a fucking nightmare to put together.
Yeah, like,
it's incredible. It's incredible.
Legitimately, it is madness to consider how much like that. That's why I'm glad I've watched this movie like 3 times at this point, because you really start to like appreciate the craft of doing a film like this as well as George Miller did. It is absolutely mind-boggling that the film works as well as it does.
Like, to be honest, there's bits I was going to talk further on, but I don't want to get too into it later, so I'll just say there are some shots where it's like, I don't know how you did this, or perhaps I do, but like the execution of how you shot this, there's a bit later on where they're like walking on a pipe.
Yes.
Like above like, this moving shot of a room on like top of several layers of this, of that hospital actually.
Yeah.
Where it's like, how the fuck did you shoot this?
Like,
it's really something. But yeah, no, the direction on the animals is fucking insane.
Yeah, but everyone gets their own jelly beans, but everyone is still hungry because each person or each animal only got a single jelly bean.
Well, he said, like, I think it ultimately became 2. It was like 2 jelly beans doesn't even hit the bottom.
And they start fighting, and then suddenly you have one of the dogs yell at the cats, just like, "Watch it, pussy!" Yeah. It's just like, whoa, dude!
You can't keep getting away with this.
What the fuck?
G-rated movie.
And Babe proceeds to end animal racism by saying, like, "Hey, I think all the animals should get along," and the bull terrier's like, "You heard the pig." And
dogs and cats will get
racism
along.
is
We've
over.
solved racism.
Yeah.
Like, way to go, babe.
And then the monkey in
Truly
full
showing
dress.
that the one way to solve racism is through the threat of violence.
Oh, yes.
The monkey in a full dress and wig mentions that her stomach feels funny.
Yep.
And Bob, the crew cut.
Her name is Zooty, by the way.
Zooty, thank you. I never called her name. But yeah, Bob, the crew cut chimp, like, holds his ear to, like, her stomach and realizes, oh, she's pregnant. Cut to black. New title card.
No, wait. Something happens before then.
Fine.
And so the narrator says, and so it was this topsy-turvy night was to end with a beginning. Then the title card comes in. Sanctuary's End!
And, we have a nice, like, up to down, like, dolly shot of, like, all the animals looking over, like, the lobby of the hotel. And we see the chimps all gathered in the center. Slowly zooms in on where the chimps are. And there are 2 horrible newborn puppet monkeys that all still have their umbilical cords on.
Yeah, still
they put in the detail specifically that those babies had the umbilical cords.
Yeah.
Fucking eraserhead
embryonic
babies.
fluid just like fucking like still wet and gross, and it's like, man, I know, but like still, why
These are 2
didn't
puppets that look horrifying.
Yeah, they're terrible.
It's the most, I would say it's probably the most nightmare moment of the movie for me personally.
It's like a blend of like Yoda and like whatever the little creatures are on Endor with all the fur.
Ewoks.
It's like a blend of the 2 at their worst. And like out of Jim Henson's Muppet
Crash the
Factory
movie,
going,
I will.
But as we know, after the previous bit where this was a positive point.
Ooh, wait. We have to talk about how the bull terrier says, like, well, I'm sure our boss here, the pig, has something to say about this.
Yeah.
I don't know what song it is that Babe starts singing, but he just kind of starts singing the song because he can't find the words
Yeah.
to express anything to this moment. And then all of the animals in the hotel start singing together, and then...
Oh, and then, of course, we have a window is broken in the front door. Basically, a big SWAT team of animal people break the fuck in. And
Fucking narc opera woman.
Yeah, narc opera woman apparently called them in.
Yeah,
And
like
so-
there's a funny moment where like the singing happens and like all the animals are singing together, and then like you cut to the opera lady's perspective and it just sounds like a bunch of animals screaming at the top of their lungs.
Oh yeah, that's great. She's like, it's teaming, and we forget the duck finally finds him because of all that singing.
Oh,
He
yeah,
finds them.
yeah.
And so he's like, hey babe, it's you. Then the break-in happens. Boom! Suddenly there's just this whole shit show of like dudes coming in,
And it has a nightmarish level of gravitas to that scene.
It's crystal knocked at the fucking hotel. A massive
It's
team of people break in the front window
it's
with
really
an impound
harrowing.
order, begin caging all the animals, but it's like, it's... That's the thing. It isn't like, oh, we're here to routinely take the animals away. There is like an insidious energy behind like, we're coming in here to take you away.
Like the way
Like,
it's
oh,
lit
God.
and everything,
Yeah.
like the shots of like the people coming to take them away, like it's all like very heavy like boots on the ground. Like you are in that low angle, like you are disempowered in that scene in the same way that the animals are disempowered in that scene.
Yeah, these guys aren't even in SWAT gear or any kind of animal wear either. They're coming in biker boots and jackets. One I think has a biker helmet. And they're just all there in like some kind of gear, except there was one guy who had like dog attack padding on. He was dressed for the occasion.
Yes. Yeah.
Taking care of a lot of dogs.
One thing I will say, them chimps were holding back. They could have ripped their faces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're domesticated though, so they were probably trained heavily by Uncle Fugly to not do that. So they're just like,
if this were an R movie, like. Yeah, we would have seen some faces get ripped off.
If it was a teen movie, they would have thrown shit. If it was R-rated, they would have ripped the face off. Sadly,
I would love to see George Miller go back to Babe Pig in the City and do like a director's cut version where he just goes all out.
Cowards.
I believe it's going ape spit.
Moving on. Anyways, it's like you have all the animals like going through hell here, like
getting hunted down in all their hiding places.
Yeah,
and
like
ripped out.
the little brother monkey puts the what's her name, Zooey,
Zooty,
yeah. Like
Zooty.
into a laundry chute with the baby monkeys to like try and get away,
And it makes it look like they're gonna get away, but
they do not get away,
They get
unfortunately.
And they take Fleelick. They rip him away.
Oh my god! They
the
don't even like lift him up in a dignified way. They're
pick
lifting him up by the wheels.
Yeah,
just
and so the two dogs that are always hanging out with them go. The husbands, yes.
Yeah.
Get together and go. Good heavens, his heart condition. He'll absolutely kill himself. Fleelick.
yeah, it's.
And they're pulling him away.
Like they don't even take Fleelick. Like they leave him behind because
We can't get into that yet because we have to get through the rest of like the animals getting taken away.
Oh, yeah,
you
fish.
have like a standoff with Thelonious Monk
Thelonious Monk.
Oops. With
Thelonious Monkey.
Yes, Thelonious Monkey, the orangutan, holding like the fishbowl, and like one of the guys sees him and is like, put the fishbowl down and come along gently, and like Thelonious gets snatched away and the fishbowl falls to the ground, shatters. That fish is dying.
Yeah, he's like
on the ground.
Oh shit! And he's like, he's like, how many animals are gonna fucking suffocate?
And Babe is like struggling to get loose because Babe's gotten like the hook around his neck currently.
Yeah,
and
one of the animal control like little.
Yeah, he
things.
manages to get away, picks the fish up in his mouth, and like spits him out the window into one of the canals.
Him, like on the ground, like that, and then bounces him in.
Is it supposed to be a bounce?
I've seen it 3 times looking for it after the first time. Just like the bounces him off the floor. And
I thought it was
chucks him
just
into
supposed
the
to
canal.
be a like straight shot.
No,
out
he
the
didn't have
window.
he didn't have the energy. He didn't have the power to do that.
Okay,
But if
anyways,
he chucks him, he did.
You see him do that, and then
chucks it.
suddenly little monkey pops through the window with a gun, and I'm just like, oh fuck yeah, now we're going.
Yeah.
Let's go. Unfortunately, nothing really happens with the gun. Like monkey throws the gun on the ground, and another dude comes after Babe in that room. Almost gets him. Babe's like hanging out the window while the guy's holding him by the like control device. Monkey pushes the guy like out the window, saves Babe. Babe gets loose, and then we see all the animals getting put into the paddy wagon. The guy hands off Fleelig to go into the back.
Again,
and another guy hands him back outside of the truck and says like, what the fuck are we gonna do with this? Like,
that out of
literally,
here.
Fleelig is so like devalued as a existence that they're like, no, fuck this. We can't even do like, he's not even good enough for us to like put down or do medical experiments on. Fuck that shit. Like,
so they just leave him out there. So Flea like grabs the coat of like, there's a lady in a lab coat that's part of this whole SWAT team of people, grabs the like inner like the lower coat of this lady, rips a bit of it, and is like grabbing on even as it's like outside the door as they drive off in the truck with the animals. And so he's grabbed onto that coat while the truck is driving off down the road. He's still holding on. The wheels that are on him just ricketying, like going crazy. He's trying to stop them with everything he's got. And the truck makes a turn and throws him to the side side of the road and his fucking heart stops.
No, yeah, literally, it's a slow zoom in on him, like, turned over with the wheels spinning,
Like, all
and
fucked
as
up,
it's
yeah.
zooming, the wheels slows down more and more until it, like, eventually stops, and it, like, kind of fades into, like, a, like, scenic meadow where, like, the like, wheelchair for him is, like, just kind of turned over, but he's loose. He's like happily frolicking around using all
that
four
dog was
legs.
dead. That dog was dead as fuck.
flowery,
Like
grassy
he was
hill
in
chasing
the
butterflies. He's an
afterlife.
That was the point in the movie where I watched it for the first time. I had to like stop and just sit there for like 5 minutes with my hands on my head, like, are you fucking serious right now?
It was so much like Freddy got fingered. I think that was I need to walk off and do a lap around the block for a minute just to fucking take a break. What the fuck? But he's immediately, thankfully, snapped out of it. Babe's going, hey, Fleelick, wake up.
Thankfully?
And so he's immediately like, oh, yeah, woof. Oh, yeah, I'm back. What's going on? I'm feeling great, feeling peppy. What's happening?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, man.
It's a good thing that he's such a loyal friend, because like he could have just been like, "What? Why'd you bring me back?"
Yeah, I was having a great
Met
time.
God. Would you like to meet it?
But yeah, for me, that moment is the apex of the film. Like, that's where it fully peaks. And like, watching it this third time, like, that's where I was like, okay, the movie from this point on is like pretty normal.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking, compared
More so
to
what
the
you
rest
would
of
expect
it.
this kind of movie to be, you know.
It feels like
first going
they're
into it.
bringing it in for a landing.
Yeah.
Like after this
Yeah.
point.
Exactly. And then, you know, Babe is like, hey, we're gonna go save them. And the Ferdinand the Duck is just like doing the usual, like, you're crazy, you're gonna get yourself killed, you're just a little pig.
I think for what Ferdinand says is really good there, because I don't know if it's here. It's like, face it, you're just a little pig in a big city. What could you possibly do? What can anyone do? Why even try? Just like
Doomer Duck.
Full doomer energy.
yeah, extremely doomer is just.
But yeah,
He's
so
gonna sniff him out. He's gonna hunt him down, though,
Yeah.
because he says what he was told by the drug dog. It's all in the hooter, in the schnoz.
which I've never heard the nose referred to as the hooter before.
No, but it's really funny to hear.
Yes, it is. And then you get another title card. Chaos Revisited!
There are suddenly, it looks like it's about like early morning. There are no cars in the city, not on the bridge in this massive city. They're walking in the middle of the street on this bridge toward the greater
You
city,
get this,
which,
like-
as you noticed, was different buildings. This was nothing like the big mix of city buildings it was before. It's just a basic skyline.
Yeah, a different looking skyline. Like, it's a fucking 28 days later ass, like, zoomed out shot of,
It looks like an apocalypse shot. yeah.
of the group, like, going across that bridge.
So...
And, you know, we see the animals being, like, detained in their, what is effectively their prison. They're taking, like, lineup photos of them for some reason. They've stripped, like, the chimpanzees and monkeys of all their clothes.
Stripped of dignity, taking photos like they're in the police line.
Yeah, and as you're seeing that, there's like interstitial scenes where we're finally catching up with Mrs. Hoggett. She's in court. She's fucking going off about the reasoning, like why she's doing what she's doing, why she's been like unlawfully detained and everything. You see like you see a shot like pointing down, like aimed downward towards her, so you can see like some of the crowd's like feet in the court, and for some reason there's just like mermaid fins. Why is there a mermaid in the court?
There's a mermaid there.
Rollerblades, yeah. There's a little of everything.
And you know, it zooms up and you see, this guy must be related to the janitor in the airport, because he too also has a like
Upturned nose,
pig nose, and he says case dismissed and lets her go free. He has like a little wry smile on his face, like, you're a good lady. I know you mean everything you say. But yeah, so the Babe and his gang hunt down the animal testing facility and they start hatching a plan to try and break them out. They wait until nightfall. As we're doing that, we catch up with Mrs. Hoggett again. She's seeing Mrs. Flume in the hotel.
Yeah.
And they're heartbroken. Mrs. Flume is like, they took away the animals while I was like on my next to my uncle's deathbed.
Yeah.
Like, that fucking awful, awful opera woman took away my animals. And somewhere in this scene, Mrs. Hoggett accidentally teared open her dress because the joke is that she's fat. And Mrs. Flume gives her like one of Uncle Fugly's clown outfits to wear, which is a good gag.
Yes.
So they go
This poor actress who plays Mrs. Hoggett, like, she's apparently like 35 when that movie is filmed.
What?
Like, yeah, like, or something like around there. Like, she's in her mid 30s when Babe 2 is filmed. And like, she's just like, oh, look at this frumpy old lady.
Oh, that poor woman.
Oh my God.
Oh, fuck. But yeah, so they go over to the opera lady's house and start fucking shaking her down. Like, where did they take the animals?
Where's the pig?
And, you know, we see them riding off into town on, like, a goofy clown bike. They're,
So
like,
with her, like, you know, suspenders and the giant pants
They're bouncing
as
around.
they're, like, pedaling in the middle of the street with traffic,
they're
trying
like
to find this
hitching
lab.
on the back of, like, a van at one point. Like, it's pretty good.
It's really great.
So, you know, everything is synchronizing at this point. You know, the Babe and his gang break into the animal testing facility and, like, get everyone out of their cages. They're trying to, like, just exit peacefully from the building, but Thelonious is taking his time because, god damn it, that orangutan has his dignity.
He's putting on his clothes.
He's gotta have his fit.
They keep saying, like, come on, man, like, we gotta get out of here. Like,
I'm
you're
not leaving my
monkey.
drip. he's putting it on.
So they respect his wishes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in that time, they hide off to the side and, you know, a guy comes along and locks them in the room. So they have to find a more convoluted way out of the facility. And everything continues to, like, funnel down into the final scene where, you know, they somehow find their way into, like, a chef kitchen while and the dog Flea, like, barks because he notices that Mrs. Hoggett...
Aren't you skipping the fact that the animal testing thing is connected to the cancer ward?
Yeah, it's adjacent to the hospital.
I don't even know how to process that. Like, that building in itself is more of an enigma than the city itself.
That's fair.
Like, I don't even understand what the fuck is up with that building, because there's a animal testing facility, there's a cancer ward, there's a chef's kitchen, there's a fucking ballroom in that bitch for some reason.
Yeah, wherein they are, like, apparently, as we approach them, they're holding a benefit.
A charity ball.
With a bunch of fancy charity ball people with $100,000 or something like that.
Yeah, which,
in a
you know,
check.
the animals and
Which after
Mrs.
burning down the
Hoggett-
cancer ward, it makes sense. of
Yeah,
course. So
I
it's like,
guess
all right.
that's a fair point.
So you know they're holding that thing there, and they wander in as a big group of animals
you know,
right in the center.
Chaos ensues. There's one of those classic champagne glass pyramids. For some reason, all the attendees are dressed like Victorian rich people. For some, like, they all have, like, the fancy wigs and shit on. The little monkey gets on the podium and starts screaming "Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey" into the microphone. At a certain point, like, Mrs. Hoggett is, like, swinging from the rafters, and one of the butlers, waiters, like,
It's like a chef. The chef is trying to get the pig because, like, I guess if they could claim the pig, they can cook
they
it or
can
whatever.
cook the pig.
I can use it for soup. So he tries to run off
one
with
of the
pig.
people like rip a tag off of the back of Mrs. Hoggett's like clown outfit, and it inflates her ass to giant proportions.
Just big,
so now
pink, like,
she's
feet and
she's
bubble.
swinging,
Yeah.
she's
Bouncing around.
Unfortunately, they start bouncing around too much because while her and the monkeys are swinging from like the chandelier, like the chandelier collapses, you see the monkeys like manage to land safely, except, oh no, one of the newborn baby infant monkeys is like hanging from a thread at the top, and Babe sees this and is like, no, Thelonious, catch that. And, you know, thankfully Thelonious does catch the baby monkey, and everything is all good, and everyone's thanking Thelonious, and finally, having gained Thelonious's respect, he looks over and says, don't thank me, thank the pig. And that's like your nice little moment where everyone has fully come around to Babe. Anyways, you cut to a shot of the opera lady's house as she's looking out the window, and turns out the hotel lady has rented out the hotel as a fucking dance hall, just pumping out like electronica, and she's losing her shit.
Down at the disco
best
with the
spite
animals.
Yeah, just the best hit of spite possible to just get like one last middle finger. They sell that. So then they move onto the farm with the rest of them.
You know, they use the money from selling the hotel out or renting out that hotel space to pay off the bank for the farm. So the moral of the movie is seemingly like living in the city is a fucking nightmare. Become a naturalist and live on a farm.
Reject modernity.
And also she got an
Return to
ape
monkey.
husband.
Start a family and raise 6 kids, except oh no, your wife leaves you. Because
And now you have to teach your good for nothing children the warrior mindset.
Yeah, the bull terrier is sitting there now since she left for a more handsome guy. You've got this dog sitting here with his kids going, come on, be fierce. And these other tiny little bull terriers have a little fluff of cotton.
Yeah,
like
we should note that the implication is that the bull terrier and the poodle have got together, had a family. Poodle was like, nah, I'm gonna go off and do something else. And the bull terrier kids all have like little pink mohawks on their head. He's trying to teach them the warrior's way, and they're like, oh, Dad, but I don't wanna.
Yeah.
I wanna play my Game Boy instead. Like the narration does say that like they had a thing and like it didn't last, and now the bull terrier is a single father.
Yeah, that's his redemption arc. Is it can be implied that like the idea there is like, no, it's not in fact all in the blood. It is in fact about how you are raised and brought up, you know, that can help decide, you know, the type of person that you become. Because the kids, they don't want to fight. They're fucking puppies.
Yeah, they're just little puppies. They're fucking around.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging around.
Yeah, and you see that the chimps have all like just migrated into the like woods nearby. They're living happily up there. But Thelonious, he still has his dignity. He's living on the farm as like a farmhand for Mrs. Hoggett, like handing her off clothespins, and she's like looking at him uncomfortably, like, sure, yeah, I'll take that.
But having
Thelonious is
sold the
going to try to
hotel-
make a move.
Oh yeah, he's gonna try to make a move in on like the minute that the farmer's out of the picture. Oh, but yeah, they're this beautiful, harmonious place where they have again, you know, just embraced returning to monkey, and they're here, and they're like,
and James Cromwell, having learned his lesson from last time, has built a machine to like help him out with the well so he doesn't have a catastrophe like last time.
Yeah, it's a much more automated water pump with like a proper rudder and everything, and it's like it's very nice.
You know, and they have a nice little moment right at the end where they're testing it out, making sure it works. At first it's like pumping out poo-poo water, and then suddenly the water starts going clear and you're like, we did it. Everything is okay. And, you know, he looks at Babe. Babe looks at him and he says, that'll do, pig. That'll do.
And then
one
the
more
vignette
time.
closes on his pig nose.
Yes.
And we get a not sung by, but clearly written by Randy Newman number.
Yes. And that, my friends and co-hosts, is how Babe, Pig in the City goes.
How did you all enjoy this film, I must ask?
Honestly... Oh, sorry. You go ahead, Evie. Yours first.
Oh, yeah. I was just gonna say I think this movie's great.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like this movie grew so much on me. Like at first it was just like a spectacle of chaos, but genuinely with each sequential viewing, I was like, no, this is actually just a really good family movie. The thing that just can catch you so off guard is effectively this is an animated talking animal movie, but in live action. Like, if this were a cartoon, we probably would not be batting our eyes as much at some of the shit that happens in it. Like, there's still bits and pieces in there where it's like, this is wild.
Sure. But when you translate that into a live action thing, it's so horrifying.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre and nightmare fuel. And it's amazing.
Truly the
how that turns
Gremlins
out.
2 of pig movies.
Yes,
Yeah.
you definitely put it better when we were all watching it together, Bridget, and saying that this movie isn't Freddy Got Fingered core, it's Gremlins 2 core, where once you understand that it's basically just a live action cartoon, it's like, oh, okay, this all makes so much more sense now.
Yeah.
I would still definitely not classify this as a family film.
No.
Or a kid's movie, to return to what Evie was talking about with the blank check episode. Do you want to expound more on that at all, or was it just that you want to bring that up?
Well, I mostly just wanted to bring it up, but like someone on there did joke, and I think this is true. Like, this should be the first NC-10 movie. Like, you have to be at least 10 years old to watch this movie. Like, I do think that, like, I think a kid could get some stuff from this movie, but it's like,
Watch it, pussy. Yeah.
the kid should have been alive for a little while first.
Yeah.
It's in a really weird spot where, like, because the only problem with that is I feel like once that kid reaches the age of like 10, I don't feel like they would.
They're not going to want to watch a talking animals movie anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't type scenario where
it's verging on like a Wonder Shonen.
Shozen.
Shozen is sort of like, I mean, it's not that extreme, obviously, but kind of a like, this is a children's medium that's playing outside of its realm in a much more subtle way. But it's like there's a weird little dissonance there, and it's a fascinating.
It's not
thing.
a little dissonance; it's a big dissonance.
It's not a Wonder Shozen dissonance,
Sure.
but it's a it's not to the point of satire, but it is like a very just lost in its identity thing that makes it beautiful for it, is kind of my take for it. And as you said, like, once you're able to already know the chaos that happens and not be blindsided every few minutes, it is a really good film. I think it has a lot of great stuff to say, and I think it's really fun. I'm glad that we watched this, because picking a film I'd never seen was going to be a gamble, like, full on. And for what I got out of this, I'm really glad we went this route.
What's up, Evie?
Okay, I'm not going to say that this movie isn't wild, that there's not like a bunch of bonker stuff happening in it, but it's like I feel like if you meet this movie kind of where it's at, like, there's not like the incongruities aren't so wild. This is a very vibes based movie. I feel like you're immediately like, it's immediately setting the standard, just like, hey, like, this is not a place that actually exists. Any similarities to actual locations is completely coincidental, or like intended to sort of invoke some other idea. Like, it's like this movie does have a logic to it, but it's a logic based in feelings.
Yeah, I generally get what you're saying there. Like, it's definitely a vibes-based thing, and I think that's why, like, the sequential viewings have really helped with it, because I think for me, when I first watched it, I wasn't expecting it to be where it was, kind of like what you're saying, meeting it where it is, because I didn't know where that was. I just did not know how to process it, so it just like fully threw me for a loop. But once I came back to it knowing that, it became so much of an easier pill for me to swallow. Like, as a film, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, there's still bits and pieces, like you're saying, but it mostly translates there.
Yeah, I think our second viewing was like your first viewing. You met it where it was, you know, with a certain level of like understanding for the world. We just did not know what we were getting into, and it still is so at moments jarring that I totally see why we had the more adverse first reaction of like, what the fuck is going on?
The one counter to what you said is that I do think that, like, it's a really visually dense movie.
Oh, yeah.
Where, like, even if you are meeting it where it is, there's so much that it presents to you. It's very much a part of George Miller's, like, filmography in that sense. Like, you can watch this and Mad Max Fury Road, and you totally see how that was made by the same person. Because that Mad Max is such a visual film in its storytelling. So once you like cross those over, like make the Venn diagram a circle, it's like, oh, okay. So he just puts everything out there. Like, he's like, no, motherfucker, I am working in a visual medium. There'll be good writing, don't get me wrong, but you gotta fucking pay attention and just meet me where I'm at on this stuff.
Tell a story with the world around it, with the world building.
Yeah,
Totally.
he's an apocalyptic filmmaker.
Yeah. As seen by a couple of the apocalypse shots that we mentioned.
Yeah.
Like Happy Feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a wonderful film.
Yeah, that was a great movie. Bree, thank you for that.
Of course.
You never asked me what I thought of the film.
What did you think of it, Bridget?
Yeah, what did you think of it?
I thought it was good. It was very, very nice.
Did you like it more or less than Mulholland Drive?
I mean, I guess technically I liked it more because it's more my speed.
Fair enough.
It reminded me a little bit of The Wind in the Willows. The one by the Monty Python people, the live action one.
How do you draw that line?
In terms of a world that really doesn't make sense, if you like, as far as a world that's following its own logic and is kind of like a live action cartoon. Like, in that movie, the sun talks regularly. But it maybe even more cartoony than this is in terms of what it's going for. But there's some similarities in there.
Okay.
Although that probably involved a lot more cocaine than this movie involved.
Probably. I mean, I don't know what George Miller was up to in the 90s when he made this. He might have been snorting something, but who knows?
Who isn't snorting something, am I right?
But yeah,
Fresh
overall,
air.
Oh.
I definitely rate it higher than Happy Feet, which I have seen.
Noted. Okay.
Crushed Xanax.
Probably
We're all
like-
snorting one of them.
I probably like Fury Road more.
Controversial statement.
I know.
How could you say something so controversial yet so brave?
So let's Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
She has more final thoughts.
My bad.
Let her
My
finish.
bad. Go ahead.
But yeah, like overall, I enjoyed it. It was a fun children's movie with some nightmare aspects, which is really all you can ask for a children's movie.
I mean, that's a fair point. I think a lot of the best kids movies have those just moments in there where it's like you see that as a kid and you're fucked.
That becomes a snapshot memory that stays
But that's
with you as a
Pinocchio
tiny
for me
trauma.
personally.
Weird.
Just what do you mean weird? There's an entire scene where a kid is turned into a donkey and sold into slavery.
And
I
then
guess
put
that- I
in the
guess
mouth
that's
of a
fair.
whale. So
And
yeah,
then there's the
I didn't
horrible
watch-
whale. Yeah.
I didn't watch Pinocchio as a kid, so I don't know what it's like.
then your nose grows a little. No.
I didn't.
No, I didn't either. I just know the bullet points because everything has been referencing it since it happened. But this leads me to my question now. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, I guess if no one has any...
Are we done with final thoughts?
I think we are.
so.
Like, everyone speak now or forever hold your peace on Babe Pig in the City.
I don't think I have anything else.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's next on the list?
we got Bridget is up next for our third movie.
So I flipped and flopped on what I should pick. It was a long and debated process. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm using the Japanese cast of Babe Pig in the City. So Zudi's Japanese voice actress is Yuko Minaguchi, who also plays Hinoto. So this is a Madhouse movie made a year later, 1999, by acclaimed anime director Rintaro.
Oh, is it Metropolis?
You are very close. However, this is his work, this movie prior to Metropolis. Metropolis is 2000s.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is X 1999.
Oh no! Fuck! Oh god. Okay.
What's X19?
The adaptation of the unfinished clamp work X.
Oh, the that one thing that has like a game that is just reskinned Psychic Force.
Yes, you probably more know those characters from.
Oh man.
Okay.
For those who don't know, this is a movie that is co-written by Rintaro and the head writer of Clamp, because at the time, and still to this day, there's no ending to X. So they made a movie.
Absolutely gorgeous movie animation-wise. Like, that movie looks fucking beautiful from what I recall of it. However, it's going to make no fucking sense.
Okay.
This is why
This
is why I said it's going to be similar to the past two movies in that we're going to have to make sense of this animated film.
Oh no.
This is not the same thing. I want to be clear here. This does not sound like the same thing at all. Where it's like something that's just like topping off an anime series that was never finished versus two discrete artistic works.
Yeah, here's the thing. Mulholland Drive has a story to it. It's just told in the way that David Lynch tells stories. Babe, Pig in the City has a story to it. It just is
It's a sequel.
Yeah, it's a sequel, and it's told in the way that George Miller tells stories. X 1999 is trying to fucking truncate down a unfinished manga that has been going on for a long time into, it's what, an hour and a half, right? Or is it 2 hours?
It's 100 minutes, so an hour.
140, yeah, like 140. Fuck. Okay.
Hey,
I mean, it'll be nice. I haven't seen that movie since I was a literal teenager. Maybe even younger than that. It was like on Cinemax or like Encore, and I watched it and it was like, man, this is gorgeous. Man, this is fucking depressing. What the fuck is going on in this movie? Why is... Never mind. I'll get into it later.
So yes, this movie is famously confusing with or without even having context, because this is something they got the creator, to rewrite the story to make it contain into a movie. And I know, Evie, you probably wouldn't be familiar with anything Rintaro has done, but he is considered to be...
I've seen Metropolis.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, you would have seen... Have you ever seen Reign the Conqueror, though?
No.
We can't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
we need to end this fucking
gotta...
podcast.
That's
yeah,
right,
I'm sure we're going to have this conversation as soon as the show's over.
Gonna give it to you, baby.
All right. Well, this has been episode 2 of Put It on the List. Everyone, thank you all so much for joining us. Follow us on co-host, where you're probably listening to this. So you can add us on your whatever podcast aggregate that you consume those through, because we officially have an RSS feed at this point.
We do.
Yes, we do. Link will be on the co-host page, because that's where we're posting all of these.
Yep.
Share us with your friends, please. I'm
Bree.
I'm Jay.
I'm Evie.
I'm Bridget. And I hope everyone's ready for the clampening of a lifetime. Yay!
Oh boy. If there's
Bridget, give him the clamps.
I'm gonna give him the clamps.
Clamps!
All right.
You ended it. You need a clap.
We already clapped.
Okay.
We clapped. Yeah. All right, I'm stopping my recording now.